need to turn left here.
Is she gonna see what it looks like?
I'm not in right now. Eating, sleeping, sex. That's it.
All right, kids, put your forks down.
Thank God you're here.
Please welcome Mr. Bill Engvall.
Thank you very much. Oh, you're too nice. Thank you very much. It's great to be here at the Grove. Waited a long time to play this place, and we sold it out. Thank you for coming out tonight. We're going to have some fun here tonight. I've been married now for 21 years. Now, that being said, if you had a job for 21 years, you'd know that job inside and out, backwards and forwards, wouldn't you? I can honestly stand here tonight and tell you, after 21 years of marriage, I know no more about women than I knew the day I got interested in them. I know one thing. Before I got married, I had a backbone and I had testicles. I know I had a backbone because I had an X-ray. And I know I had testicles because I used to make my own decisions. I could go the whole day without help from a woman. All of a sudden I got married and my brain just went, I can't even leave the house now without looking at my wife going, do I look all right? And I love when I get this response, well, you're not wearing that, are you? No. No. See, I was in the closet and you weren't around to help me. So this must have been hanging right next to what you wanted me to wear. And I'm going to go change now. I figured out, when you're involved with a woman, it's like being shot at by a sniper, but you don't know where they're at. It's like you got this grassy knoll that just follows you around. See, ladies, I would love to stand here tonight and tell you that as guys, we think about stuff and we mull it around in our heads. We just ain't that deep. Guys got three basic needs, ladies. Eating, sleeping, and sex. That's it. See? And that is our whole day. Our whole day is consumed with getting to that next basic need. You ever watch a guy around a campfire? Watch him sometime. Just stares at it. Pokes it a little bit. Flips some sticks up on it. He's thinking. He's thinking, how can I get sex? See, guys, if we could go without sex, women would be in so much trouble, and they know that. But they also know this. They know we can't. And women, good God, y'all are like camels. Hell, you'll go months. You may not want to, but if this don't prove the point, by God, you will go the distance. I'll tell you what, I've about decided if it wasn't for the sex, I could be gay. Hell, then you're just hanging out with your buddies. It's just when they get that look in a deer camp like, hey, you're like, all right, I'm out of here. Women will set you up, too. Do not think they won't. Ladies, I really don't think you do it to be mean. I honestly don't. I think it's just part of the game. Like, you ever watched a cat play with a wounded mouse? They won't kill it because then they got nothing to play with. It's just women are in control, fellas. And I'm going to tell you this, and I tell you this not to get a hoot and holler from the women. Women have the power, and that is okay. Because when you relinquish the fact that you have no control, fellas, then you get to be a guy. You don't have to be the man and I'm head of the household. Forget that mess. You can just be a guy, which is great. Because when anything goes wrong, you just go, sorry, I'm just a guy. A long time ago, when my wife and I got engaged, I said to her, baby, I think I know what the key to a happy, long marriage is. She said, what is that? And I said, I'll handle all the hard decisions. You handle all the easy ones. And to this day, 21 years later, we ain't had a hard decision yet. Now, back to what I was starting with, that women will set you up. And this is just part of the control thing. My wife was going through my car one night. She said looking for a map. I know it's bogus. Because every time we drive anywhere, she knows exactly where we're going, has no problem telling me how to get there. We could be driving back to our own house, and my wife will turn to me and go, you need to turn left here. Thank God you're here. Hell, I'd have been lost in a field somewhere. Just driving in circles. Cop comes up. What's the problem here? My wife ain't around. I'm going to give you a warning this time. Don't be driving without your wife anymore. We could come up to a stop sign. My wife will go, you're going to have to stop. Oh, you saved my life again. How can I repay thee, princess? Which brings up another point. How come whenever I'm driving and I barely touch the brakes, out of the corner of my right eye, this is what I see. What is... Dustin Hoffman couldn't act that good. And like that's going to stop him from going through the windshield. I mean, let me tell you something. You are never going to hear this on the news. And the woman would have survived the crash, but she didn't grab the dashboard in time. Back to you, Jim. So, see a lot of finger pointing going on right now. So she's going through my truck. She finds a pack of cigarettes. And, you know, she's been on me to quit, and I know I should, because it'd shut her up. So she walks in the house with a pack of cigarettes. Now, instead of saying what a guy would say, which is, hey, found these in your truck, you're busted. My wife walks in and goes, Bill, are these yours? That, my friends, is what we call a setup question. She has given me the opportunity to lie. And I always figure honesty is the best policy, right, ladies? Oh, yeah. Kind of like when your parents used to tell you, if you just tell us the truth, you won't get in trouble. Hang on to that dream. So I said, yeah, baby, they're mine. Now, this is the leap that a woman can make that a guy just cannot follow. She looks me right in the eye, and she says, well, Bill, if you're lying to me about smoking, how do I know you're not sleeping with other women? What? Evel Knievel couldn't have made that leap. And of course, being a guy, I don't think before I talk. So I go, well, I guess you don't. Oh! Oh, come back here, little mouse. Come here. And if you've been involved with a woman long enough, you know that periodically we have to have what they like to call the come to Jesus meeting. And this is where they've had it and they want to talk. We had one 2 nights ago. We were sitting at the dinner table, me and the kids and my wife. We said grace, our forks were up. And my wife goes, all right. I was like, oh, hell. All right, kids, put your forks down. Mama's fixing to lose her mind. I said, what is it? And she goes, I am not the only person in this house that knows how to load a dishwasher. And I innocently said, well, apparently you are. Now wait, because she had kind of the same reaction. She said, what do you mean by that? And I said, baby, we put our stuff in the dishwasher. And then you come in behind us and rearrange it. See, nobody told me that there had to be a pattern to the dishwasher. You know, guys, I'm going to inform you right now. It cannot go plate, bowl, saucer, bowl, plate, saucer. All right? That just don't work. It has to be a plate and all his buddies in a row. Then you have to have the brotherhood of bowls all together. And apparently, food will just stick to a fork in 1,000-degree water if there's a spoon anywhere near him. Laundry room, not even allowed in there anymore. Apparently some of you aren't either. Because I looked at the dial on the washing machine, and it said cold, warm, hot. Warm is right in the middle. That's where everything gets clean. No. No, no, no. Bill, the whites go in the hot water, and the colors go in the cold water. And then I found out that there's a whole nother group. It's called delicate things. And there's a whole cycle just for that. See, you can't, fellas, you can't just put a pair of jeans in with a pair of panties, because it just slaps them around the whole cycle. And their feelings get hurt. They're delicate. Tell you another way she set me up. One night we were lying in bed, we're kissing, we're making out, things are starting to progress, and one of my 3 basic needs is about to be met. Well, I've had dinner and I ain't tired. I'll let you do the math. And she just stopped. Just stopped. Ladies, guys can't just stop. It's like peeing. All right? It'll cause bodily injury if we just stop. And I said, what's wrong? And she looked me right in the eye with those big brown eyes, and she said, is there anything new you want to try in bed tonight? Oh, God. Oh, think. What is the right answer? Because I know as soon as I come up with something I think it'd be a little fun, I'm going to hear this. Where'd you learn that? Oh, yeah. What, your little slutty smoking girlfriend teach that to you, did she? 21 years. On our 21st wedding anniversary, we got talking about the difference between that first year marriage and that 21st year. Boy, there's a little difference in there. Remember that first year you'd pick a fight with your spouse just so you could make up and have sex? 21 years later, you pick a fight with them just so they'll sleep in the other room. My wife never snored our first year of marriage. Jeez, now, 21 years later, it sounds like somebody's starting up an 18-wheeler. And they never believe they snore, do they, men? No, they're like, I don't snore. There's a pack of bears in the backyard, baby. My wife never had morning breath our first year of marriage. God, she used to roll over and go, hi, baby. And I'm like, oh, God, I love you. 21 years later, they roll over, hi, baby. Woo! Jeez. When'd you eat the possum? I don't remember seeing it on the highway. Remember that first year of marriage, you go swimsuit shopping together? Your wife buys little sexy string bikinis. Oh, yeah. 21 years later, we don't swim. Remember that? You go shopping with them, maybe trying on that little sexy bikini, and then from behind the dressing room door, you hear this, you gonna see what it looks like? And we're like, God dang right. 21 years later, buddy, you sitting in a little chair the store gives you, holding her purse. And from behind the dressing room door, you hear, you have got to be kidding me. And our brain's telling us, don't ask. But we can't stop it. Can I see it? No, I'm not coming out in this thing. All right, I'm going to go look at tires. Now, here's something I didn't know, fellas. When women try on bathing suits, they leave their underwear on. And then complain it doesn't fit right. Well, take your dang panties off. Who wears panties? The last time I had underwear on underneath my swimsuit, I was 1.5 years old. And that was strictly a safety precaution. I said, dang, baby, take your panties off. And she goes, oh, that's gross. And I go, you got me on that one. What? She goes, Bill, other women might have tried these on without their panties on. I'm like, really? She goes, stop it. I'm like, sorry. I'm just a guy. Remember that first year of marriage, fellas? You come home from work, had a bad day on the job, you walk in that front door just beat down like, oh, what a day at work. And your new bride of 1 year would be like, oh, baby, they shouldn't be mean to you. You sit down, I'm going to get you a cold beer. 21 years later, you walk in the front door, oh, God, what a day at work. Your wife screams, you want to hear what went on at this house today? While you were at your job? Remember that first year of marriage, if you had to go to the bathroom? Oh, dear Lord. Shut the door, lock it, turn the faucets on, turn the shower on, because God forbid they knew you were going poop. 21 years later, that bathroom door's wide open. You're screaming, bring the camera! It's alive! My wife still won't shut the door when she's going pee. That just bugs the hell out of me. I've seen her naked. I've seen her give birth to my 2 kids, but she will not shut that bathroom door. I'm like, baby, please shut the bathroom door. And she goes, why does it bother you? And I go, you want to know why? Because you look so helpless. Guys, we're peeing. We're hanging on to something. We're doing something. You women go pee, it looks like you're waiting on a bus. It's just... Christ, get a Game Boy or something, man. See, and there's another difference. Woman walks in the bathroom on a man. If he's standing up, she knows what he's doing. If he's sitting down, she knows what he's doing. Fella walks in the bathroom on a woman, she's sitting down. We don't know what you're doing. And you don't want to walk into that invisible wall, do you, fellas? Yeah. You know, like, hey, baby, let me, oh. My mouth's watering a little bit. I'll be all right. Hang on. Hell, first year of our marriage, I didn't think my wife pooped. 21 years later, buddy, she learned how. Fellas, you remember that first year of marriage when your new bride was do laundry for the first time and you freaked out because you thought you might have dirty underwear, so you just threw them away? 21 years later, you just hoping to hear her scream, "Oh my God! Did you hit a deer?" That is my favorite joke. Only because I don't care what city I'm in. I do that joke, I see some woman do this. Of course, one of the products of a marriage is children. And I have two lovely children. I have a 17-year-old daughter that's fixing to graduate high school and go off to college. Dang. I tell you what, man, you want to talk about a slap in the face. That's when you walk on a college campus with your daughter and you catch some guy checking her out. Yeah. Then I realized it was a slap in the face. My wife caught me checking out college chicks. Sorry. I'm a guy. Where were those girls when I was in college? My friend goes, they were there. Hey, I got the yearbook, my friend. My college yearbook looks like the program from the Yukonuba Dog Show, all right? And not even the winners, you know, just not ready for her to be so grown up, you know? God almighty, you know, these girls now, they're wearing these jeans that are cut down. God, one sneeze, the surprise is out. Just not ready for that, man. It's, you know, my wife and I were standing in the bathroom the other night talking. My daughter comes in and goes, "Hey, Mom, can I borrow your razor?" And I'm like, "For what?" She goes, "I want to shave my legs." And I go, "Why?" "Ain't nobody going to be touching them." Yeah, you think I'm joking. I want my daughter to have those big old monkey hair legs. You know what I'm talking about? That kind of hairy leg, when they pull the socks up, the hair sticks out of the socks. I'm just not ready for her to be so grown up, man. I'm still getting over just a few years ago when I was coming home from my son's baseball practice. My cell phone rings. My wife, she goes, "Hey, are you on your way home from practice?" I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Stop off at the drugstore, pick your daughter up some pads." I'm like, "I'm not in right now. If you'd leave your name, number..." "Bill, please don't make me do this." She goes, "I can't get away. Just make sure they're narrow." Ow, what is that? Narrow? Can't you use one of yours and fold it in half? So now I got to take my son with me, who every 5 minutes is like, "What are we looking for, Dad?" I'm like, "A gun to kill myself." So I go to this drugstore. I walk into this woman who works there, who I don't know. And I said, "Hey, listen, do you have any, and if you don't, it's cool, any little girl narrow path. The woman said, "Are you her father?" "No, princess, I'm on some kind of sicko scavenger hunt." I said, "Yes, I'm her dad." And she goes, "Honey, they're over on aisle 17. So I go to aisle 17. There are like 5,000 of these things, none of which say narrow. I'm on the phone with my wife and going, "Baby, please let me come home." "No, listen to me, honey, there's no narrow. This one has butterflies on it. This one plays a little tune. Who finds them? My son. Who proceeds to scream out, 'Here's the little girl, narrow paths, Daddy!'" "Thank you, son. Listen, honey, I don't think they heard you in Scotland." I bought 2,600. She's just grown up on me, man. She's a woman. She's Scotch. She's smart. She took her SAT scores. Didn't take the pretest. Stayed out till midnight the night before. 1390. Now, I tell you that for two reasons. One, to brag. And the other to tell you, she wants to retake the test. I go, "What are you, stupid? If I'd have scored 1390 on my SAT scores, I'd have spray painted it on the side of my car. Yeah, SAT score right there, partner. I wish my SAT score had 4 digits in it that equal 13. My son is 12 now and is really getting into girls. A lot. But the thing about 12-year-old boys is this. They don't possess what I like to call that discretionary gene yet. He and I were walking down the street going over the ball fields the other day, and there was a woman walking towards us who was gifted. And I saw him, and I saw him see him. But she was too close for me to go, "Dude, shut up." She hadn't walked 2 feet behind us, and he goes, "God dang, did you see the size of those things?" Good boy. And all I could say was, "Yeah, I did." We had to have the big talk this year. I was on the road. My wife called me. Says, "Well, you need to have a talk with your son." Which I find incredibly amusing, that when he's in trouble, I have sole ownership. And I said, "What happened?" She goes, "Well, him and his friends were on the internet, and they pulled up one of those sex sites." And I was like, "Oh, Lord." All right. I said, "Baby, did you write down the name of the site? Just for reference?" She's like, "Shut up." And I knew this talk was coming, and I wanted my talk with my son to be a little more informative than my father's talk with me was. I don't know about the rest of you fellas. My dad and I didn't have a talk till I finally cornered him one night. I said, "Dad, when are you going to tell me about sex?" "I'm 30. But I also know this, that kids today are a lot more informed than you and I were. And we were more informed than our parents, but what these kids know today is scary. So I sat him down, I said, "Look, son, we need to have a little talk about the birds and the bees." And I said, "But I know that you and your buddies have already chatted about this, so why don't you do this? Why don't you tell me what you think you know, and I'll just fill in the blank spots." Which seemed rational, till 30 minutes later. I'm sitting there with a pen and a pad of paper going, "They'll do that? Just gotta ask, huh?" Who knew? Now, if you've got a young man at your house around that age, you know this, that they think they know everything. And what happens when that world meets the world that's still naive, it can make for some of the funniest stuff you've ever seen in your life. And you've all had that. If you've got kids, you've had that moment where you've got blood in your mouth because you're biting your lip because you cannot laugh. And during our little chat, one of these moments arrived. We were having our little talk, and I said, you know, son, I said, when you finally meet this girl, whoever she is, and you fall in love and you think you might do it, I go, you got to swear to me right now that you will always use a condom. I said, because it prevents diseases, it prevents unwanted pregnancies. And he's kind of looking at me funny. I said, you know what a condom is, right? And he goes, yeah. I go, all right. I go, why don't you tell me so I know you know? And he goes, Dad. I go, come on. And he goes, oh. A condom is a rubber thing shaped like a wiener that hums. You've been in Mama's sock drawer, haven't you? Oh, my wife loves that joke. She goes, why do you do that joke? You know I don't have one of those. And I go, I know that. Just figured if you kept hearing it. She's like, Bill, and I go, sorry. I'm just a guy. Oh, man. That's one of the things I love the best about my son, is that he makes me laugh. And he does it without trying, which makes it even funnier. He'd been playing baseball with his buddies one day. And I guess he slid and got a scrape on his rear end right there. And he came in the house, he was whining about it. Oh, Dad, you got a scrape, got a scrape, got a scrape. My wife said, well, go in your room, take your pants off, and I'll come in and rub some ointment on it. Well, I'm in there talking to him. My wife's rubbing ointment on his butt. And he farted. I'm laughing because I'm a guy. And my wife looked at him and went, Travis. And he turned to his mother with the straightest face I've ever seen in my life and said, my compliments to the chef. That's my boy. Every year we take a trip across country, going back to the ranch, and just me and my son. It's our time to be buddies or dad and son, whatever the situation might call for. And so I didn't know this, but apparently across this country there has been this popularity of topless steakhouses popping up. And they're legitimate restaurants, just the waitresses are topless. But they don't advertise it like, they don't say like Cindy's Topless Steakhouse. It just says Cindy's Steakhouse. So we're driving across country, and it got to be about dinner time, and I said, son, you getting hungry? He goes, yeah. And I go, hey, look, there's a steakhouse. So we pull in the steakhouse. We walk up to the hostess, who's fully dressed, and she goes, can I get you gentlemen a table? I said, yes, ma'am, that'd be nice. There's two of us. She seats us at our table. I'm looking at the menu, and I become aware of the fact that someone else has walked up next to the table. And I looked up. And my son's eyes are glued to this woman like my eyes were glued to that woman. And she goes, can I get you boys anything? And I said, oh, Lord. I said, ma'am, I believe there's been a mistake made here. And my son goes, don't you want to hear what the special is? Honey, I believe we're looking at the special. And he goes, well, we could split some. I'm like, shut up. Boy, all the way across that parking lot, I was like, if your mama asked where we had dinner, we went to Burger King. He goes, there's no boobs. I go, that's right, there are no boobs at Burger King. He goes, how was your steak? I said, great. He's starting to play sports a little more seriously now, and I had to take him in the other day to get a real physical. And we were driving to the doctor's office, and his only concern about this whole physical was whether he was going to get a shot or not. He goes, Dad, am I going to get a shot? And I said, no, it's your sports physical. There's no shot. 2 minutes later, Dad, am I going to get a shot? And I go, did you not hear me? No shot, sports physical. 2 minutes later, Dad, I go, son, a shot? is the least of your worries at this point. So, we get in the doctor's office, and I'm standing right next to him. Doctor checks his heart and his lungs and his blood pressure. And all of a sudden the doctor goes, all right, son, take your pants off. What'd he say? He wants you to take your pants off. Why? It's just part of your sports physical, son. We wear pants in sports. Just take your pants off. Doctor goes, all right, take your underwear off. Dad. I said, it's all right. And he starts. Am I in trouble for something? Just take your underwear off. So he slides those drawers down, and that doctor reached up and just grabbed him. Do y'all remember that cartoon where the cat would be asleep on the rug, and that little puppy would sneak up behind it and go, "Row, row, 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 row," and that cat would scream to the ceiling? That would have been my son if that doctor had not had hold of him. And he is flipping out. And the doctor goes, son, relax. I just want to make sure you got 4. Dad! 2, he meant 2. It's a joke. Ha, 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 ha. So the doctor's got hold of him. And he goes, all right, son, cough. And my son goes, and he said, no, boy, cough. And he goes, I forgot how! All the way home, he won't even look at me. He's just straight out the windshield, boy. Finally, about halfway home, he goes, Dad. And I said, yeah, son. He goes, that was weird. I said, I know. I said, but you got to get it done, man. He goes, well, I know. Still weird. I said, yeah. Wait till you're 40. What happens then? You see this finger, son? They stick it in your butt. What? Which is amazing, isn't it? With all the advances in modern medicine, this is still the only way to check for that mess. You don't got a Polaroid or something. I mean, I had mine 2 months ago. I don't know what this fellow was looking for. But after a while, I'm like, hey, Doc. Why don't you tell me what I'm thinking? And he's like, why? And I said, because you're touching my brain, that's why. Jeez, that's my cerebrum there, E.T. If you're checking for cavities, got a dentist, thanks. And they use that stuff, that... It's like axle grease, isn't it, fellas? You can't wash that mess off with lava soap and a SOS pad. And my doctor wants to talk to me while he's doing it. Shut up! Just do me, then we'll chat, all right? I'll tell you what, the older I get, the less I trust medicine. I guess it's just getting older, man, you know. God, I hate getting old. I'll tell you what, I'm about to say getting old sucks. You know you're getting old when you spend more time on the ointment aisle than any other aisle in the grocery store. Or commercials that you used to laugh at, you find yourself going, I make make noises getting into bed now. What is that? Do you everybody like, oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, right there. If I get up in the middle of the night to go pee, which is another sign you're getting older, I used to sleep all night, pee for 20 minutes. Now it wakes me up. It's like, hey, didn't we just do this? I start walking to the bathroom, my bones are popping so loud, it sounds like somebody walking on packing peanuts. And then I read in the paper that Viagra now has a pill they call the Weekender. Because its effects last 36 hours. Dear God. 36 hours? I'm thrilled if it lasts 3 to 6 minutes. Hey, let me tell you something. 36 hours, you're not making love at that point. You're a circus freak. You might as well just parade people through your bedroom. 17 hours, ta-da! 28 hours, ta-da! I mean, can I tell you something? If I took that pill, the Weekender, with effects that last 36 hours, I'd be dead. Physically dead from the lack of blood to my brain. The only good side effect is they'd have a handle they could carry me out of the building with. "36 hours. And knowing my wife, at 35 hours and 59 minutes, she'd holler, "I'm almost there! It's been 3 days! Could we focus?" Just part of it. Then I got a hernia this year. I swear. You know what? I talk a lot about my wife. I do love her to death. And one of the things that makes us work is that we're just so different. She loves to work out. She lives to work out. And she always wants me to go work out with her. And it's like, "I'm going to go on a 2-hour walk. Do you want to go?" And I'm like, "Or I could watch Law and Order and have 2 beers. So one day she goes, "You know what, Bill? You need a trainer." And I go, "Whoa, whoa." I go, "They're not that big. That's muscle." She goes, "Ugh." She goes, "A physical trainer." I go, "Don't." She goes, "I already did." She hired this guy named Hans. And Hans is one of these people who, he's the male version of my wife. He just lives to work out. So we go to the gym, and he puts me on this machine where you lie on your back at kind of an angle, and your feet are up here on this plate. And then there's a bar with 6,000 pounds of weights. And you're like this. And I go, "All right, what do we do?" And he goes, "You push it up." And I go. And he goes, "Now let it down." Bam! My knees are right here. And I go, "Hans, I can't feel my back." And he goes, "Oh." And with one hand, lifts these weights up. And I go, "Why are we doing this exercise?" And he goes, "Football players do this exercise every day. Because every day they got 400-pound defensive linemen running at them full speed." And I said, "Hans, you need a glimpse into my daily life." After my morning Bloody Mary, I've never really had a 400-pound defensive lineman come at me down the sidewalk at full speed. But let's just say one did. I would see him and step out of the way. Watch, I'll do it again. I'm not even tired. So I go to my doctor, and he goes, "Yeah, you got a hernia. We'll fix it tomorrow. A day surgery." So I'm kind of flippant about this surgery, because remember the old-fashioned way where they would cut you open, you were gone 5-6 weeks? They don't do that anymore. Now, they just poke 2 holes in you. And in one, they stick a camera, which is a journey I wouldn't go on. And in the other hole, they fix it. I was in and out, 45 minutes, no pain. But the doctor gave me a prescription of Vicodin in case there was any pain. Oh, I had pain. Where has that been my whole life? Vicodin. You know why? I now know why you have to have a prescription to get that mess. Because when you're on Vicodin, you don't give a rat's ass about anything. We could walk out here on the 91, get hit by a semi, bam! We're like, my fault, my fault. So 2 days after my surgery, we took the kids to the Bahamas on their spring break. And I discovered in the islands of the Bahamas that half a Vicodin and a Bahama mama makes for a bitchin' day. And I found it out by accident. What happened was we went to this resort where the whole deal was you could swim with the sharks in the lagoon. You don't really swim with them. They're just like on a little fence, and you can touch them, and they charge you more money. Well, my son was a shark fanatic at the time. I mean, the first morning, I'm kicked back in my wife and I's bed, just kind of rested. He comes bolting into our room and goes, "Let's go see the sharks!" And does this Spider-Man leap. And in slow motion, I watched him as he landed right on my hernia. And I'm just like, oh, Mr. Vicodin! But as I'm reaching for these pills, I realize I got to be careful because I have no drug or alcohol tolerance at all. I swear to you, I'm the cheapest drunk on the planet. It takes nothing to get me loopy and doing stupid stuff. Yeah, something like that. Well, like riding an electric floor buffer for a shot of tequila. Did it. If I get the flu at my house and I take a shot of NyQuil, I'm walking around my own living room looking at my wife going, "Hey, baby, what's up?" And she's like, "Go to bed." I'm like, "That's what I was thinking about." So I only ate half this Vicodin back at the resort because I knew we were going down the beach. Well, it was about an hour before we got down the beach, and I'd forgotten about it because that's how they work. They don't take away your pain. They just make you forget you ever had any. So I'm lying in this beach chair, and this woman walks by with a tray of drinks, and she goes, "Sir, would you like a Bahama Mama?" And I said, "Well, I believe it's breakfast." So I start swilling this rum drink. Well, the rum and the Vicodin converged in my system. And I was in that beach chair just going. I'm going to braid my hair. And my wife goes, "Oh, God." She goes, Bill, woo, look at me. Both eyes. "Bill, you're scaring the kids. Now, honey, I'm going to take them to the pool, all right? Now, you sit, Bill, woo, woo, woo. You sit here. Honey, don't talk to anybody. Don't look at anybody. You know what? Just stare at the sand." I'm like, "Can do." She wasn't gone 5 minutes. And this island guy walks up to me and goes, "Hey, man." "What you looking at?" "Sand. It's everywhere." "Well, forget the sand. Let's go parasailing." "Why, that sounds superb, my friend. I've never seen Vicodin land from 300 feet in the air." And I just climbed in this cat's boat. I didn't ask for a driver's license. I didn't ask for immigration papers. If we're headed to Cuba, put the enchiladas on, because Daddy's home. Now, you know what parasailing is, right? Yeah. That's where they hook half an acre of parachute to you. 300 feet of rope that's attached to you and this guy's boat. You have now become his personal kite. So they put me on this platform, and there was 3 guys on the boat. There was the guy hooking me up, that was his job. And the other 2 guys' job was to drink beer. And apparently, they were professionals. So they get me all hooked up, and there was no on your mark, get set. It was just, woo! We took off, and I start rising up, and I was just, woo! This is righteous! Look at Viking land! Oh, look at the little fish! Hello, fishes! At 300 feet, the rope jerked. Now, apparently, that was enough of a jerk to jerk me out of Vicodin land and into reality land. I'm 300 feet in the air. I'm scared of heights. So my first reaction was, ah! I go, bring me down, bring me down. What they heard was, let's go around. As we are circling the lagoon for the 3rd time, I realize these cute little fish are the sharks. I've got 2-day-old hernia scars. Oh, they can smell that. They're circling the boat like, oh, come to papa. No more stupid squid for me. And I have no idea why the shark had a French accent. So they start bringing me down. All of a sudden, the 2 guys, remember the 2 guys who haven't paid me any attention at all? Well, now they've got a freaked out look on their face. And they're poking their buddy who's driving the boat and pointing at me. This gets my attention. And I look down and I realize the problem. We are going to miss the platform from which we took off. Oh, not by a lot, but enough. As my toes touch the water, the guy driving the boat screams at me, just poke him in the eye! Ooh, oh my God, the sharks! I literally walked on water, went back to my hotel room, ate the other half of the Vicodin, and watched the Animal Planet. Thank you. Did you guys watch the Animal Planet? Oh, I am so addicted to that thing. And that guy, Steve Irwin, oh, he's like a wreck on the highway, all right? You don't want to look, but you just got to. He jumps on the backs of crocodiles and puts his hands over their eyes. What is that? Is that some kind of sick game till the crocodile guesses who you are? It's like, Steve, oh, you got me, my turn. Did you see the one where he was mowing the grass in the alligator pen? And the alligator grabs the lawnmower while it's still going and pulls it underwater. That is a tip from the alligator. He's saying, no need to mow today, Steve. Little cranky. My favorite one, did you see where he was messing with the spitting cobras? This was his shining moment of idiocy. He's got this spitting cobra in front of him, all right? And he's making it mad with his backpack. He's going, oh, look. Look how he stands up when he's angry. Oh, it's all right, little fella. I'm not going to hurt you. And you could actually see the snake go, that's it. And he spit poison in Steve's eyes. Well, Steve freaked out. He goes, oh, my God, he spit poison in my eyes. And y'all, I am screaming at my television set. They're spitting cobras, you moron! Jesus, didn't you hear the... I'm not even a vet, and I know that one. You hear, move. And now they got this woman, the pet psychic. Oh, God. Is there no low that television won't stoop to? This woman actually has the cojones to come out and look in the camera and go, I can tell you what your pet is thinking. You know what, Princess? So can I. If I look out in the backyard and my dog looks like this, I know he's not trying to jump the fence. She had a guy. He walked this dog on the set, and as soon as he walked on the set, this woman went just like this. She went, oh. Oh, he's not very happy, is he? He's telling me. Oh, good Lord. Was he hit by a car? And the guy goes, how'd you know? And I go, 'cause he's got 3 legs. My favorite guys are the snake guys. These are the biggest morons on the planet. Because they're always holding some hugely venomous snake. I go, oh, look, it's the beautiful black mamba. And you see the snake go, tish, and latch on their face. And like, oh, the little fella's hungry. I need some anti-venom. No, you need a bullet in the head. You should not be breeding. See, that right there, that's why I don't have my own animal show. Because I'd be like, hey, look, everybody, it's the beautiful black mamba. Why, you son of a... He's sleeping now. Did you read about that woman in Australia who found the 6-foot snake in her toilet? Yes, a 6-foot live snake in her toilet. Can I tell you something? If I found a 6-inch worm in my toilet, I don't need a toilet anymore. I need a new set of underwear because I just hit a deer. Oh, God bless my wife. That's what she puts up with every day of the year. I do love her, and I think one of the reasons we've stayed together for a long time is because she's a woman and she understands men. And she understands that me being a man, I don't possess that gene that tells me when to shut up. Guys, you ever been talking to your wife, your girlfriend, and all of a sudden you're in trouble and you have no idea why? I'll tell you why. It's because we have said something we don't realize we've said. Because it didn't go through the shut up filter. My wife is as cute a woman as there can ever be on this planet. And she went to the hair salon one day and they cut her hair and gelled it. And it looked so hot. And she came home and she goes, you like my hair? And I said, oh, baby. I go, your hair looks fantastic. And her eyes lit up and a smile came across her face and my brain's thinking, oh, nice one, Bill. We're going to get sex tonight. Now, just shut up. And my brain goes, how'd they get that greasy look in it? Come back, Shane! I was in line at the grocery store a couple months ago. There was a woman in line in front of me who had, without a doubt, ladies and gentlemen, the ugliest baby I'd ever seen in my life. Don't get me wrong. I love children. This was a Halloween mask with legs, all right? You could not drink this baby cute, all right? And I was just mesmerized by this child's ugliness. And the woman looked at me and I panicked and I went, wow! That's a handsome little man there. And the lady said, she is a little girl. Every synapse in my brain is screaming, shut up, man. Just look stupid like a guy. Just look stupid. And my mouth goes, think of the money you'll save on prom dresses. I don't learn. We try to do a lot of things together, my wife and I do. That really hadn't worked out. Well, she don't like to hunt and fish, and I don't like to go see movies. And I'd go see movies, but we have to go see movies. You know, like The Wedding Planner and 10 Ways to Lose a Guy. Blah. I hate those movies, and I'll tell you why I hate them. Because they always got to have that love scene in them. I hate that. You know why I hate the love scene movie? Because they don't portray it as being real. Now, well, I don't mean like porno real. Yeah. That'd be cool. I'm talking about real life love. I mean, here's a line that you will never hear in a love scene in a movie, but every guy has heard this once in his life. Ow, God dang it, that hurts. That's real love. And see, what happens, ladies, is you drag us to these movies, and we watch these love scenes with these movies, and we think we can do that at our house. Here's my last argument. You don't think women are in control of this world? A woman can stop any sexual advance from her husband or her boyfriend in a dark room by uttering one phrase. And it goes just like this. What are you doing? Because there isn't but one answer to that question. Apparently nothing right. Because, see, we go to these movies and we think we can do that. Like, you remember the movie 9.5 Weeks? Okay, all right. There was a specific scene in that movie where a woman was tied to the bed, she was blindfolded, and the guy was feeding her strawberries. Was she griping? No. She was squirming on the bed like a worm on the hot sidewalk, man. She's like going, oh, you're making me so hot. And I'm in the movie theater going, I'm going to try that at my house. Well, apparently, bologna and string cheese is not a big turn-on to a blindfolded woman. Who knew? Or like the movie Sea of Love when the guy grabbed the woman's panties and just like ripped them off of her. Well, that don't happen. I've tried it. The only way they'll rip if there's a hole already in them. And if there's no hole, all you're doing is just jerking on their underwear. And the women are like, what are you doing? Being sexy? Well, thanks for the wedgie, Romeo. You want to call 911 now? You pop my hip out of joint. You want to show me real love in a movie? Show me a couple making love and their dogs are watching them at the edge of the bed. That's real, my friends. Because it's hard to throw down your best moves when there's these eyes at the edge of the bed. Just like, ooh, nice move there, Bill. Geez, don't that hurt your back? I take my wife's bra off, throw it across the room, dog brings it back. I can always tell when I'm doing really good because he growls. He's like, arr, arr, arr. Oh, she loves you, Skippy. Arr, 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 arr. Or like when a couple in the movie just rolling around in bed, sheets are flying, pillows flying, and we're off the bed, boom, hit the floor, don't even miss a beat. Well, I am sorry. Because you roll off the bed onto your partner, what do you hear? Get off me! I swear to God you broke my back. And we're like, sorry. Can you go some more? We got 35 hours to kill. Thank you. You guys are wonderful. I've got to do some really cool stuff in my life, and one of them was recently I got to shoot a film with 3 of my good friends called the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. Thank you for your support on that one. The other cool thing I got to do 2 years ago was I got to go to the Winter Olympics with my family, and it was so great having it in our country and being a host of this, and just had the most wonderful time. And I got to tell you a great story. If anybody went, it was right after the 9/11 thing, and so LAX was just a zoo. I mean, it was an ant farm. And I literally became Jack Nicholson in that movie, As Good As It Gets. I'm like, get off me, don't touch me, get off me. So we get through that, we get on the plane, they won't let you get up 30 minutes after you take off or 30 minutes before you land. I've been drinking, I have to pee. So we get to Salt Lake City, and I've got a bladder like out to here, and now I'm in an airport just crammed with people who don't understand the phrase, I'm going to pee on you if you don't move, I'm going to pee on you if you don't move. And for whatever reason, my wife was just in one of these moves, she was just in my ear, just, I guess it was a stress. She goes, did you get a rental car? I'm like, yes, I got a rental car. She goes, did you get one with a ski rack? I go, yes, I got one with, you know what, honey? Some days, I go the whole day without any of your help. Oh, that soothed it over. And my fuse is about that long. and I'm slamming our bags in the trunk of this car, and I slam her skis up in the rack, and the guy right in the car right next to me goes, "You going skiing?" I said, "Nope, we put him on top of the car in case we flip over on an icy road." Here's your sign. Oh, we've had some good ones this year. A friend of mine's wife turned 38. She wasn't real happy about it. So he thought as a joke, he'd go to the bakery, and he bought 2 cakes. One said happy and had a 3 on it. And the other one said birthday and had an 8 on it. And he said, "Bill, I walked up to the checkout stand. I set the cakes down. A little girl at the register goes, 'Oh, do you have twins?'" Yep, my wife was in labor for 5 years. Here's your sign. This year I did something that was really fun. I went to Anaheim Angels baseball fantasy camp, which was just a wonderful time. Some of my guys are here tonight, and they can all vouch for this. That after that first day, we all like kind of hopped off the bus. The first day, the second day, we all kind of like was like. I'm walking back to my hotel room, and I can barely lift I'm just walking like this. And this woman goes, "Do your legs hurt?" I go, "Nope, just crapped my pants." Here's your sign. I was in an office building a couple weeks ago. There's standing at the elevators on the ground floor. The up button is pushed. A man walks up next to me and goes, "Excuse me, are these the elevators that go up?" No. These go side to side. The up ones are down the hall. He walked away. Here's your sign. My son's playing piano, and he's pretty dang good at it. And the other day I was sitting in the den watching TV, and he came in and he goes, "Hey, Dad, I want to play you a song on the piano." And I said, "Oh, cool." So we walk into where the piano is, and he goes, "I'm going to play you a song from Harry Potter." And I said, "Oh, the movie?" And he goes, "No, the book." Here's, and I go, I went elk hunting a couple years ago, got me a nice bull elk, had him out on the wall of my den, and my neighbor, who I love to death, but he's just dumber than a bag of rocks. We had been in the den drinking beer and shooting pool for about an hour before he finally looked up on the wall and saw the head and went, "Oh, man, I didn't see that. Did you shoot that thing?" I said, "Nope, just ran through the wall and got stuck." Here's your sign. Right out here on the 405, I got stuck behind a big rig that wedged his trailer up underneath an overpass. Me and the trucker standing on the side of the road talking, waiting on the tow truck driver, and the highway patrolman pulls up. He looks at the guy's rig, and he looks at the trucker, and I'm thinking, "Oh, dear God, he can't say it." Because I'll start laughing. But sure enough, he goes, "You get your truck stuck?" And God bless this trucker, without missing a beat, he goes, "Nope, I was delivering that overpass. I ran out of gas." Here's your sign. But the best one that we had all year long, and I can tell you this one because she ain't here tonight, my wife did. I got booked on a corporate job in Missouri, but it was a morning show. So I had to fly in the night before on this little puddle jumper airplane into this remote airstrip at night. When we landed on the runway, we hit a deer with our plane. You can't make this up. And it killed the deer, it wrecked the engine. We had to evacuate the plane, but the plane was so small, it didn't even have slides. The flight attendant said, "Just step out." So they put us in a van, and they're busing us back to the terminal. And I'm laughing at this point, because this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I got back to the terminal, I called my wife, and I said, "Baby, you're not going to believe this." I go, "We just hit a deer with our airplane." There was a pause on the other end of the line, followed by, "Oh, my God, were you on the ground?" I said, "Nope, Santa was making one last run." Here's your sign. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Good night.
show.
Good show, man.
Thank you.
There we go. Say, you can't make that stuff up. Thanks, buddy. Take care of yourself, man.
Bill, God wants you to be creative right about now. Sign it right here.
I had a great time. Thanks for being part of it.
We're here for a reason, aren't we?
I have a life. She goes, I'm from New Zealand. Do I have to wait in the American line?
Did you get paid or something?
I got a silver pen.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. I'm amazed at how many people think that I would have a black pen for black hat.
Here's your sign.
Can you do me a favor? Can you say here's your sign when they say it? Can you say
Here's your sign.
Thank you.
Take care, y'all. Thanks for coming out.